Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Value of the Phoenix podcast. My name is Patrice, and we talk all things affirmations, manifestation, and becoming the best version of yourself thus far. So, if this is something that you are interested in, definitely make sure to keep on listening. So, the topic we are going to be talking about today is one that is so exciting to me, and I feel like when I learned the true essence of this, my whole self-concept journey really changed for the better, and that is having faith in the unseen. So you might be wondering, Patrice, what do you mean by the unseen? The unseen just basically means things that you cannot actually see in your day-to-day life in regards to your manifestation and the desires that you actually have. So when people talk about having faith in the unseen, it's basically just about you just believing wholeheartedly, regardless of what is going on in your reality, that things are working out in the background, i.e., the unseen. So let's jump into it a little bit further. So, as most of you guys know, the law of assumption, which was popularized by Neville Goddard, basically is like a mental framework, and it literally just means that whatever you dominantly think about yourself, about others, about everything in life will eventually manifest, because when it comes to your subconscious mind, what you dominantly believe to be true will show up in your reality, because your brain is always seeking out evidence to prove you right on everything that you dominantly believe. And so when Neville is talking about, manifesting your desires, a lot of the time he references using your imagination. And what I love about this is the fact that everything in life started with an imagined thought. Everything. So that should go to show that your imagination is literally one of the most powerful things, if not the most powerful thing, that you have as a human being. So whilst you're doing all of this imagining and you can see your desire, you can visualize it, you're thinking all of these positive thoughts, the manifestation process is you embodying the person that has what you actually want. And sometimes it can be really difficult because you might not necessarily get the evidence right away to prove to you that you are becoming this person. And that is why having faith in the unseen is so important. You don't know what could be going on in the background. You don't know what could be happening that you can't physically see, that could be pushing your desire towards you. And so once you have that awareness, once you know that just because you can't see something doesn't necessarily mean that things aren't working out for you, that is what you need to hold on to. That is where faith comes into play. When you have faith that things are working for you, regardless of whether you can see it or not, that is what will keep you pushing forward. That is what will keep you striving for the things that you actually want in life. We live in a society where we want a lot of instant rewards. We want things like that. We want to, just go to the gym once or twice and then boom, we've got our dream body. Or we want to work on our business for a month and then boom, we're making 10K a month. Unfortunately, that is not how it works for majority, if not all people. You have to continue progressing. You have to continue being persistent. And so in that middle section between you deciding on what you want and you actually getting what you want, that is your progression point, and that is where you may not be able to fully see that your desire is actually making its way to you. So one of the best analogies that I've heard in reference to having faith in the unseen is when you view it in the same way as if you were planting a seed. So once you've planted that seed, as long as you make sure that you nurture the seed, i.e. you water it, you give it sunlight, you put it in the best possible position for it to prosper, even though you can't see the roots of the seeds growing, it's underneath the soil, you just have faith. You trust that that seed is going to become whatever it is that you have planted, because you've essentially put it in the best possible environment for it to grow. And that is exactly the same when it comes to how your mind works. It's exactly the same as when you have goals, when you have desires, when you want to go after things in life. You have to water, you have to give sunlight, you basically have to nurture yourself in order for you to actually achieve your goal or to receive your desire. And sometimes when you're doing all of this watering and nurturing and making sure that you're okay, you might not necessarily see all of the things that are actually working in the background of your life. Sometimes that instant gratification is not there. And so we have to get used to understanding that we need to have faith sometimes in things that we can't actually see. We need to just trust that things are working out in the best possible way for us. So how does this come back to your thoughts and your actions? So when you think, when you assume, when you decide, when you affirm that things are working out for you and you have faith that those things will come to fruition, that is you watering that seed. So even though it might take a month, it might take a year, it might take 2 years for you to see those results, the results are coming because you are providing that seed with everything that it needs in order for it to grow. And so, as I always say to you guys, consistency and your persistence, that is what is key. That is what will get you to the next step of your life, to whatever it is that you want to achieve. It's all about being consistent and having persistence. Repetition is key. So your subconscious mind is essentially like the soil, and your assumptions and your beliefs are the seeds. And so what you do in your day-to-day life, i.e. the environment that you're putting your seeds in, will determine whether that seed will grow, whether that seed will wither away, whether that seed will actually, become what it is that you want it to become. And this is why it is so important for you to pay attention to the environments that you put yourself in when you are on a self-concept journey. Just like with the seed, if you're not giving it water, if you're not making sure that it has the sunlight that it needs, it's not going to be able to grow. And that is exactly the same as you when it comes to whatever it is that you desire. You need to be putting yourself in environments that will help you grow. You need to be putting yourself in environments that will motivate you, that will give you what you actually need in order for you to reach your desire. So for example, if you've decided that your goal this year is that you want to learn Spanish, it doesn't make sense for you to be in environments where everyone is talking French. Just like it doesn't make sense for you to just be learning Spanish for like 2 days and then fall off for 2 months and then try and come back to it. It doesn't make sense. You need to put yourself in environments that make sense for what it is that you want out of your life. And I think that sometimes this is the harsh reality that a lot of people don't want to face. We're so used to just being who we are. We're so used to just doing the same things over and over again. We're so used to all of these habits that we have because that, as much as it may be hurting us, it's comfortable. We know it, we're used to it. Whereas when you need to now put yourself in environments where you can thrive, sometimes that means, not hanging out with certain people anymore, not listening to the advice of some people anymore, not watching certain shows anymore. The whole point of your self-concept journey is for you to move in the right direction, for you to become the best version of yourself thus far, and to basically keep going. So once you reach the best version of you thus far this year, then next year you have the potential to reach the next best level version of you, And so when it comes to nurturing yourself, you have to understand that your environments may need to change, and you have to be willing to let go of those old environments. So a lot of people will say, you have to be willing to let go of the old story. And that is really what it is. You have to be willing to let go of those old beliefs that you had about yourself. So for example, anyone that has the belief that, they can't make X amount of money every month, you have to let go of that belief. You have to let go of that old story of you. You have to now look at this new story. Okay, I make X amount of money every month. That's the new story. that is what you need to be focusing on. And so you need to put yourself in environments where you can actually reach that goal, or where you can see the goal and know that it is something that you can achieve. There is absolutely no point in saying that you want to make changes, but then when it comes to the environments that you're in the exact same environments that you were in before. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, so when it comes to having faith in the unseen, the first thing that you need to be working on is building self-trust. And having that self-trust is probably one of the most important parts of any kind of journey that you're on. You have to trust yourself that you can actually do what it is that you want to do, or that you can have what it is that you want to have. If you don't trust and believe that you can have those things, how are they ever going to come to you? If you don't think that you are worthy of all of these desires that you have, how are they ever going to come to you? It is one of the first things that you should be working on your self-concept journey. You have to learn to trust yourself. You have to learn to have faith in yourself. So when it comes to your life, the person that is going to be with you until the wheels fall off is yourself. So by having that understanding and that belief in yourself, it will make your self-concept journey a lot easier, especially because, as we know in life, there's going to be times where you're going through, hard times. There's going to be times where it's going to be difficult for you to have faith in the unseen. And so by trusting yourself, you will just believe no matter what you are going through, that things will get better for you, that things will work out in the end, that your desires already belong to you, even if you can't actually see it. So I grew up in a Christian household, and one of the things that I really love about Christianity is the concept of having faith, the concept of trusting in and believing in God, and knowing that no matter what, God has always got your back, that no matter what, God is there for you. As much as I wouldn't class myself as a Christian now, that is something that I have held on to since I was very, very little. I just always believe that things will work out for me, because I know that, number one, I am on my side. Number two, the world is on my side because I've told myself that. And number three, that God is also on my side. Now, you don't have to believe in God in order to trust that things outside of you are on your side. So I think that it's a really good way for you to look at life. Whenever I'm going through like a difficult time, or I'm going through something that, is quite challenging, I always remind myself, I can get through this because I trust myself. I am going to get through this because I have faith in myself, and I have faith that things are working out for me in ways that I may not see. I may never see it. You may never actually see with your own, eyes. You may never actually see when things are working out for you. And sometimes it might be that you may not see it now, but in 10 years' time, you'll be like, wow, I was being protected from that. That needed to kind of happen in that way in order for me to reach this level of, where I am in my life. And so by having that faith, it just makes it a lot easier for you to deal with difficult situations, because you know that you will be able to handle anything. And so this is why there is, scientific evidence that shows being an optimist just means that you will live a much more fulfilling life than someone that's a pessimist. And that's because pessimists, they don't have faith. They don't have belief in themselves. They don't have that self-trust. They always think that things are out to get them, or that bad things always happen to them. And when it comes to people that are optimists, even when things are not going right in their life, they just have faith. They just believe that things will get better, even when it looks like a shit show is going on in their life. They just know, okay, cool, this is a season, this is happening now, but I know that things will get better. I have faith in the unseen. So in our last episode, we spoke about, having that doubt and that uncertainty and why that can be messing up your manifestations. And so it is basically just about you shifting the narrative, you deciding to stop focusing on all of the doubt, because when you focus on doubt, it creates more doubt. When you focus on faith, when you focus on abundance, when you focus on the things that you actually want, it will create more of that. It will create more of things that you actually want. So it's all about just shifting your mindset, just understanding that the key to getting what it is that you actually want, you just need to have faith. You need to just trust that no matter what is going on in your life, you are being directed to whatever it is that you actually want. And we can look at different examples when it comes to celebrities and things like that. Lady Gaga, she always said it from day one. I absolutely love Lady Gaga. She's very, very inspirational for me. And she basically just said, she just decided, I am famous. That was it. I am famous. And even though, she may have, had setbacks, or people may not have wanted to work with her at the time, she carried on because she just had that faith in herself. She had faith in the unseen, because at that moment she wasn't famous. She wasn't, she wasn't a big star. She didn't have the superstardom that she has now, but she had the faith. When you understand that you have to just embody that person, the person that you want to become, regardless of what is going on around you, that is how you will get there. It's the faith in yourself, it's that trust in yourself, and it's the repetition, the consistency, the persistence. That is what will get you there. So by having that faith in the unseen, it just means that even though you're in this waiting period, this in-between period where you have decided what it is that you want, and the next part of it would be that it's actually coming to fruition, even though you're in that period in between, by having that faith, by having that self-trust, it allows you to just stay in alignment with what it is that you actually want. So you can almost look at it as like a preparation season or a preparation period. I quite like that. It's the preparation period of you actually getting your manifestations. You in that period just before it's going to come to you. It's the preparation period. And that is basically just where you prepare to have your manifestation. And so what better way to prepare to get your manifestation than to stay in alignment and believe that it is yours. So when we go back to the flower analogy and, planting the seed, the end result, if you don't have faith, is that you'll end up digging up that flower just to see oh my gosh, what's going on under here? I can't see anything. And then you essentially have to start the process again, because you haven't actually nurtured it in the right way for it to come to fruition. So you can kind of look at it in the same way as having faith in the unseen, where if you don't have faith in the unseen, you will constantly be looking out for things to show you that it's on your way. And sometimes you won't actually get the evidence that you are looking for. Sometimes it's just not there. And so that in a way is you actually self-sabotaging yourself, and that can cause you to actually give up on what it is that you want, because you're not getting that evidence in your day-to-day life. This is why a lot of people, when they're on a fitness journey, for example, this is why it's so easy for them to give up, because after 2-3 months, they're sad because they're hold on a minute, I thought I would have results by now, and they may not have it. And so because they can't physically see those results, it makes them want to give up. And I'll even use me as an example. So the last nearly 2 years, I have finally been consistent with my fitness journey. And I've had fitness journeys in the past where I'll do it for 6 months to a year, lose weight, be happy with what I look like, and then I'll just give up. Whereas this time around, I said, no, I'm going to be consistent. And this is the first time that I have actually seen properly long-lasting results. And don't get me wrong, I'm still not 100% where I want to be. It's actually quite interesting because the more that I've worked on my self-concept, the less I've actually cared about, wanting to have this like perfect body. Like, there's no such thing as perfect. I'm very much happy with what I look like now, but this is the first time that I've seen proper result to the point where it's been noticeable over an extended period of time. And that is because I was consistent with it, and I'm continuing to be consistent with it. So yeah, that's the difference. Okay, so what can you do to make sure that you continue to have faith in the unseen? So this is the daily work that you need to be doing in your day-to-day life that will just help you to stay on track. And that is making sure that you embody the person who already has what it is that you want. Saying your affirmations in order to impress your subconscious mind, doing your visualizations, which also obviously impress your subconscious mind, and behaving like the person who has your desire already. And again, once you start doing that, that is also another way for you to impress your subconscious mind. I know a lot of people think that like it's only affirmations that work with that, but no, it's all of those things. It's the visualization, it's the affirmations, it's the embodying the person who has what you desire. Those things all shape your subconscious mind. And another thing that can help on your journey as well is learning how to detach from the outcome. A lot of the time as people, we really want to be in control of how our manifestation or our desires come to us. In our minds, we feel like, okay, it's going to come to us this way, therefore I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. But sometimes it can come to you in the most weird and wonderful ways that you can actually imagine. So I'll give you an example about me. So about 10 years ago, I said to myself, okay, I want to do YouTube. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to make YouTube content. I want to help people. And so I started a YouTube channel. It was going well. And then the doubt crept in, the self-sabotaging started, the not having faith in the unseen started. And so that led me to stop making YouTube videos. It led me to stop working towards my desire. And so, I just left that there, didn't think anything of it. And then when I learned about the law of assumption, I decided to start making affirmation videos. And lo and behold, I am now a YouTuber who makes affirmation videos. And I think the thing that changed it for me is the fact that this second time round, or it was actually the third time round, this is my third YouTube channel, guys. This third time round, I just decided that it was going to work. Regardless of anything, I stuck to it. Even when I first began, and I'll be honest with you guys, when I first began, the numbers were low. The views were low. But I just decided, no, I'm going to do this because I want to help people. And this is a goal of mine. This is my desire. I want to do this. And so having faith in the unseen, all of a sudden, one of the YouTube videos just decided to get loads of views. And here we are today. So if I'd, not had faith in the unseen, if I'd just seen what was in my reality and just taken that to heart, I wouldn't be here right now making this video. I wouldn't have, made all of these affirmation videos that you guys listen to. So that's why it's so important to have faith in the unseen. You just don't know how things could be working out for you in the background of your mind. You just don't know. And another example of this is that I recently went to St. Lucia. I went to go and visit my nan. I haven't seen her in over 18 years or something crazy like that from the last time that she came to the UK. And I've also never been to St. Lucia. And I said at the beginning of this year, I am going to go to St. Lucia. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I am going to make it work. And it worked out in the most wonderful way because my brother randomly found some really cheap flights to go to St. Lucia. My ticket cost £300, guys. That is very cheap to go to the Caribbean. And so my brother said, oh yeah, I'm going to St. Lucia for 2 weeks. I'm going to stay with grandma. I've spoken to her. She said it's fine. And then I was just like, oh my gosh, can I come? And then he was like, yeah, sure. And then I just booked my ticket, and literally a week later, I went to St. Lucia. That's how quick it came about. And there was no issues with money. There was no issues with me getting time off work. There was no issues with anything. It basically worked out so seamlessly, and I couldn't have even imagined it working out in that way. If you told me at the beginning of the year that I would have been going to St. Lucia, 1, for £300, 2, with my older brother, and 3, stay at my nan's house, I would have told you, really? Are you sure about that? Like, in my mind, I had just envisioned going there in like a completely different way. But in the end, it worked out in a way that I'm actually really glad that it worked out. So yeah, it's all about just having faith and just detaching from the outcome. That is what I done. I detached from the outcome. I just said to myself, it's going to work out. Whichever way, shape or form, it will work out. And it did. So I want you guys to actually look at things that, you know, have gone on in your life and see whether there's any times where you had faith in the unseen and you just didn't realize it at the time. Because I guarantee you, there's probably been things that have happened in your life where that has happened. And you can also check out a video that I made talking about how I manifested my flat as well, because that was definitely me just detaching from the outcome and just deciding that this is mine, basically. Just deciding that my desire is mine, and I didn't know how I was going to get it, but it just worked out in my favor. So guys, on your self-concept journey, please make sure that you have faith. And especially make sure that you have faith in the unseen, because you just don't know what could be going on in the background of your life right now that could be bringing your desire one step closer to you. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please make sure to give me a like and a follow as well, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.